So Father Carlos Martins wrote a new book called The Exorcism Files, based on the podcast, where he kind of goes deeper into some of the cases that he talks about on the show. He's explaining this woman who's possessed and the trouble that they're having in exorcism. The exorcism is not being effective as of yet.
Mm-hmm.
They send the woman to a therapist because they determine, she has some emotional wounds that she needs to deal with.
Right.
She starts seeing the therapist for these wounds. The wounds start being addressed. And then what happens? She goes back to the exorcism, and the exorcism is effective. What I was blown away about, God could have essentially freed her at any moment. God is all powerful.
Yeah.
And what did he decide to do? I want you to go to see a therapist
and deal with
these
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So then this will be effective.
Now, let me just jump in here, because I know a lot of traditionalists listen to this show, and they're the ones who are going to be squirming a bit in a moment.
Yeah.
But I'll just say, just look at Father Ripperger. The guy's written a 10-pound book on psychology.
Right. Monsignor Rossetti, I believe, is a psychologist.
Yeah, Thomistic psychology in particular. So obviously he takes the human mind and psyche seriously and understands the issues as relate to possession. But it reminds me a little bit of what Father Dennis McManus talked about one time when he said that was it him that said hell is like a wound factory? Yeah. And so sometimes to get at an oppression or whatever, there's a necessity of a kind of healing that is related to our sanctification and our coming to know God, and then our ability to help others. That's a process we need to go through. Just because it's using psychology doesn't mean it's a lack of faith. It doesn't mean, because there are great Catholic psychologists. We have a bunch in our community of Apostoli VA. And I'll give an example. I won't get too detailed or who, but there's someone in our communities benefited from discernment of spirits and really made a lot of spiritual progress, but was having some trouble. And I could see from the outside that they were stuck in negative thought patterns. So I thought, well, let's just keep going in deeper in discernment of spirits. And it just didn't help them. And then they went to therapy and dealt with OCD structures. And with a Catholic therapist dealing with OCD, the structure of thought and how you have an initial negative thought that then sort of snowballs into a sequence of negative thoughts is what discernment of spirits deals with.
Right.
But it necessitated for that person a deeper dive into that mechanism for the lights to come on and the patterns to be revealed. So that's just one example of legitimate psychotherapy or therapy that is can be super helpful to a soul who's trying to get free and to mature and get unstuck.